Us everyone, hope everyone's well. What do I call this vlog? The debrief, I think. The debrief. Thank you so much. Let me kick it off by saying sincere thank you to everyone that's taken the time to personally message me, write comments, like what's being put up. Again, social media is the starting point, YouTube and all these avenues where people can communicate to pass on their, support, the positive energy. I love all that stuff. I absolutely love it. I feed off it. As I say, positive energy is contagious, and with the success of the 50-man Kumite on the weekend and the success of the camp, it leads me into thanking Shian Bill Polly, who put this opportunity out to me a couple of years ago. Like I said on Saturday night to the people in that room, they were fortunate to be a part of it and be there. Shian Billy put this opportunity to me at the beginning of 2019, late 2019, heading into 2020, and then obviously COVID. And then at the end of 2020, we had another dinner. He said, let's aim for 2021. And then Melbourne shut down, the longest state / in the world. And then at the end of 2021, this day, or yesterday or today, exactly 1 year ago, we were allowed back to the dojo training without any interruptions, no 2 week, no 4 week, no 6 months. And when you think about it, we've just been training legitimately with a two-year break, legitimately, as of yesterday, today, 1 year was the anniversary / of when we were back. And December of last year, Shian Billy, we had a dinner, because Shian Billy, to everyone out there, has been my master for 22 years. One teacher, being that, I ended my fighting career in 2016, and then ever since my energy and time has gone back to dojos. I've always wanted to be a coach, a teacher, an instructor, and I was blessed for Shian to pass on his dojo in 2012, and then 2017 I put us into Hammer's Gym here in Nunawading. And my energy's gone to that, being that Shian Billy has been away. He's always, since 2012, he's been abroad. He works for the Federal Police, so his roles and responsibilities are massive. He has a high importance in this country of what his service is. So we talk a lot, we FaceTime a lot, we WhatsApp a lot, and I'm not talking once a month, I'm talking probably 2-3 times a week over the last 12 years. So last year, before he flew back out, he asked me again to do the 50-man. He said if all things go well, it'll be at our national camp, the Zen Kyokushin camp, hosted by Shian Billy. And that's what happened, and it finally happened. So like I said to everyone, very, very honoured to have been asked to be the first of in the Australian group. And the honorary part of it was that my master did it, Kyoshi Jimmy Phillips has done it, and in the 22 years that I've done Kyokushin, I haven't seen one live, I haven't been a part of one, and until then. So truly blessed and honoured. I hope it opens the door and encourages the next generation. The feedback that I've got in regards to my age, and people saying 41, age isn't a thing for me, but would I have loved to have done it at 30 when I was, cracking on nicely there? I stopped at 36. So yeah, that 32-year-old body would have been pretty epic to have felt it. But that was the awesome challenge put in front of me that I loved, and the goats out there like the Judd Reeds, he did it he did the 100, and you start to think of those legends that did the 100-man Kumite and how they obviously committed full time to that event. And I guess the mini half marathon is what I call it. So the mini half marathon, so a full marathon's 42k, a full marathon's 42, a mini's 20 odd. Think of it as a mini marathon, just under 2 hours on Saturday night, with 50 fights, a minute and a half each. So happy to share a little bit more with those that have obviously messaged me and given me all their love and support. Let's start with recovery. Recovery has been awesome. And I'm going to put it out there. I've been hesitant in how people are acknowledging shit. Well, I guess if he's feeling all right after day one, the next day, well, did we hit him hard enough and did we push him hard enough? Well, I got up the next morning, went to bed at, we played poker. We stayed up. I was just such on a high. The only ice pack I needed, and I'm not talking ego here, was just on, I got a knee kick in the last 46th fight, and accidental, no intent. You know, my senpai, strong as nails, pushing me and doing a good job. And the side of my ACL just bent down and then took a bit of damage, but that was the only ice I needed, and now she's very, very good. She's fantastic, to be honest, and up and about, no problem, and moving perfectly. So many on Sunday saw me at the camp. We went to bed at 2:30 in the morning after some fun poker with some shians and senpais, and just had to move the body. Wanted to train. No one asked me to train. It was just an honor to be at the camp and get up and get going and prove to everyone, you know, the support was awesome, and I wanted to give it back in a way. So trained back on Sunday morning and loosened everything up, which was great. Then the knee started to swell, but that got fixed up by ice pretty quickly. So the tattoos and bruising, there's plenty there. There's plenty there. The legs did fantastic. I think in sharing with everyone, I trained every body part. And I think it's something that I would have loved to have heard or have had some detail from maybe, like, you know, Xian Jard and all those guys, that Francisco Filio, if you could get them in any moment and to talk about how they trained for it. I kind of think about that now, but I didn't want to bombard my head with, you know, all that knowledge or all those things that they went through, because that's their chapter, that's their body, that's what they had to prepare, and they were preparing for the ultimate. And the 50 for a father of 3, husband, full-time job, 2 dojos, a dog, and all those things. I definitely just wanted it to be my course and learn from it. So, you know, everything from a recovery level has been fantastic. What are we? It's Wednesday, so 3-4 days since it happened. So no problem. I'm very lucky, very blessed. The major pains and shocks I got on the last 10 were my elbows. The tips of my elbows always would get damaged when I fought in my career. The Chudamawashi, the middle roundhouse kick into the rib area is very dangerous if you don't tuck your elbow in. And then obviously if you lift it up, the rib damage would have been too excessive. And I've had previous rib damages over fighting for 16 years, 10 of those in open divisions and so on. And, you know, in 2 to 3 ribs have always given me grief, but no, I had to keep them secure. So tips of the elbows got swollen a lot. So some of the shocks I got were from that, and the shocks were more towards 5 to 10 seconds. One of them cramped my whole arm, you know, so it just froze. But when you move around and continue on with the adrenaline, it's pretty epic how the body just starts to go, okay, well, we're still here, so let's keep going. Well, like a computer, like something that's accidentally shut off, and then you got to bring it back on your page. It kind of felt like that. It went, oh, okay, we're still here. I'll come back. You know, to share with everyone again, it's been interesting explaining without the ego side, because there's so many that want the fairy tale that I had. If I had broken a bone, or if you had, like the legends that have done the hundreds and so on, you know, they've gone to hospital and they've had a punctured lung and all these injuries and all that. I tell you what, it runs through your head. Absolutely. From 40 to 50, that was my biggest, not a fear thing, but awareness thing. Don't put the arm out too far. Don't get that chudamawashi because of the blocks that I did. So I'm more of a blocker with my hands. so I could stay in close. I'm shorter. I'm 85 kilos. I'm not 100 odd kilos. I knew that, you know, all these different parts of the body would take more of a toll than others. So, you know, the difference for me was my feet and shins were fantastic. Could I have thrown more? Could I? Absolutely. All that shit is what drained me the next day in talking. I could have checked more. I could have kicked more. My legs came up really well. But the awareness of the last 10 was more of the, you know, importance. Not to do the dumb punch with the hand because they were all swollen and it could break. Not to put the forearm out because it could break. Cover your head because it could get a little niggle, and because of the fogginess at that stage in the bouts, I could have, you know, fallen down, collapsed, and that's it. It's over. And in quick segue of that, the rules were a minute and a half per fight, a minute and a half break after each 10. The wazaris and the ippons were not a factor to me. I didn't want to put that energy into knocking out my supportive crew in a way, and being that focused or just solely focused on that was not in my game plan. And that's another thing to debrief about. But, you know, truly humbled and blessed with everyone's support on the night. So the fighters were fantastic. Of course, you're going to get the handful that come at you, and the intensity and the energy takes over. It did with me, it did with them. But all in all, a fantastic evening, a fantastic 50 fights. I felt personally that, you know, tactically, I had a game plan, and it worked. It worked. The looks and the spectacle side, you look at it afterwards when you watch a couple of fights and you go, oh shit, maybe that wasn't there. But survival and spirit and those types of things far outweighed that. You know. Yeah, so the debrief, I could go on. I like I've said to everyone on the phone, and I can already talk underwater. So now, do you want me to talk underwater for 2 hours as well? So on a debrief level here, I'm up to 12 minutes. So I appreciate it, everyone. I'll go a little bit more, but you know, the part of the 50 that's honorary is that from here on, I hope it's something that we tattoo in our calendar for all groups. You know, I know other groups in Australia do theirs, and that's you know, gave me motivation most definitely, and inspired me. And I hope this triggers that as well. Sincerely, I hope it does, and it gives everyone something to, you know, look forward to at a camp or in an event or at a grading, and from here on it. You know, instills that reach for the stars concept. You know, I remember one of the speeches that was said, and I think it was Xian Judd that said it in the chat. He was like, you know, Soso Oyama said to aim for two things: to be the world champion or to do the 100-man Kumite. Now, of course, you know, if you look up to that and you aim for that, and you have a chance, look at the amazing opportunities that come from it, and if you attain it, even better. And that's something that you try to, and then. You know, someone said to me, you looked absolutely stuffed. You were gone, lucky it finished at 50. Yeah, but I mentally was seriously telling myself, who knows what Xian Bill and the others might say. They might say anything. They might say, get to 60, get to 70. You know, we're changing it. It's not, you know, they wouldn't, or they didn't. But I had to tell myself that there's maybe 10 more, that it wasn't going to end at that point. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to kind of say that the half marathon absolutely finishes at that time. Well, then bullshit. I want, you know, it could go longer. It could be more. So mentally, I had to tell myself that. And then the odd question comes out: would you have ever done the 100? Absolutely not. No. And I remember actually Sensei Nicholas Pettis, one of the goats as well at Full Contact Karate, he said in the chat that I had with him, he actually said that, I said, have you ever considered doing the 100? And I think he answered it in that way as well. So not just me, but many others have, you know, had the vision or had the goal, and then it's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. But to have it there, or to have the 50 there ongoing for many around the world or here in Australia, that's awesome. I think that's, when I say it's doable, it was bloody hard to prepare for it, because you want to tick as many boxes as you can, and then you don't want to leave no stone unturned, and then you mentally want to know that you've done enough, and then you've got to have a good squad, a good training bunch of students or partners to help you prepare, which I was so fortunate with. And on the night, you know, the likes of Senpai Dean Polly, Senpai James, Senpai Dane, Shian Billy, Senpai Michelle, they're key people that were in my dojo and in my career of 22 years, and they all knew where they needed to push my buttons. Senpai Dane was there to fire me up. Senpai Dean had good balance and control with, he was my 50th fight, and he was fighting me beforehand, and Senpai James has a nice, gear change, I call it, where he knew how much more he could give me because he sparred me here before. So all these little things over the last 3-4 days come out in your brain, and while you're driving and while I'm working, and all these things you're grateful and you're very, very appreciative of. And then the other side was the people that had the ice pack, you know, the team that put the ice packs together, gave me a massage, asked me for water, you know, all that secure, language, that secure environment around me made me feel great. It made me feel comfortable. And then Kiyoshi, Jimmy, and Shian Billy giving me their advice, and then Shoshi Hasegawa came across, and he had his views on a couple of things. And I've got to be honest, it got translated to me, but I had multiple people kind of gesturing how to attack things, do things, defend things, and then I just had to zone back in again. So there is so much in the brief, and I guess coming from a sales background, I can tell why my head's going a lot at a frantic pace. But to conclude a bit here, and again, it's just a massive thank you to everyone, and I hope it has given others something to look forward to aspire to, and to, you know, at 41 years of age. Would I do it again? Absolutely, I would do that again. Would I fix up a lot of things? Fuck it, yes, indeed. You would prepare differently, and all these different things that I'm loving even more now after the event. So to those that have asked me that they may potentially be doing it, please contact me. Happy to share what I did. Like I said, I don't see it as advice. I see it more as information. And I hope you guys, if you want to have a chat or a yarn, absolutely no problem at all. Again, I'm a person that loves talking underwater, but I love helping others. So if it does that in any way, if you're attempting your black belt at the end of the year, which most dojos are, and you're doing the 40-man, 40 fights, 40 rounds by 1 minute in your dojo, I wish you all the best. If you have an event coming up, all the best. And to those competing in December 9, all the best here in Australia v Europe. Onwards and upwards. A big wish to you all. Recovery's going perfectly. Should they have hit me more? Well, come to the dojo and we can arrange that if need be. Not. So, take care. Big wish. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon. Boom.